Hold on, we might be going live. We might be going live. We are live. They're saying we're live. We're fucking solid. Looks like my camera needs readjusted here. Hatley, you look good as fuck on camera. Even though you're a goddamn devil rain.
Yes.
Let me see. So I need to go this. I need to maybe adjust it a little bit here. Hold on. Oh, fucking Blitz has got me remoted. He fucking, goddamn, look how fucking good I look. Hatley, I'm looking pretty good nowadays. You got it,
yeah, man. You're hitting the weight pile.
Hold on here. Think, Hatley, this isn't royalty free, already been screened, buddy. So we're not going to get a monetization strike. It's Bubba and Brent live. Hi, Brent, Hatley.
Hello.
Let me get you all dialed in. There you go. Blitz, by the way, thank you for adjusting my camera. I was getting ready to manually adjust it. And then Blitz, who's like Johnny C and here and do all. God damn, I look good.
He remoted you right on in.
He loaded me right on in. I look good. Fuck, I've been hitting the weight pile. Did you see my shirt, Hatley?
Yeah.
Then what's it say?
Which, your shirt? No, you showed me the pictures of you hitting the weight.
No, my shirt, it says the finest strain of Indiana white trash. And do you know that I got like a community standards violation on Facebook because I called myself white trash?
Hold on.
No, for real.
What?
On Facebook, I referred to myself as white trash.
You're allowed to do that.
No, you're not. It's considered hate speech.
But
no, Hatley, I swear to God. Listen, I wouldn't lie to you, buddy.
I know you're not. I'm flabbergasted.
I mean, can you believe that that's the world that we live in? What's next? I can't call myself a fat ass?
Yeah, like, here's the rule. You know, and Ice-T said this, and this is a great rule.
Colors. I am a nightmare walking, whatever Coco used to say.
Remember, when he was on the show, that was one of my favorite interviews, but he has a great rule, and if you go by this rule, I think you're fine. If it applies to you, you can say it.
Wow.
Right? I mean, what's wrong with that?
It should be.
If it applies to you, then you can say it.
Yeah, but you also identify as a black guy sometimes, too, and I probably can't say some of that stuff.
But I mean, but I can call myself like a white trash redneck from Mississippi.
No, you can't.
Why not? Why not?
I think you can on Facebook, but you can't on Facebook. I mean, I think you can on YouTube, but you can't on Facebook.
Like, I'm from the
I got a real violation.
Oh, my God.
For hate speech.
I'm from the swamps of Mississippi and Florida. I can't call my, lower middle class. I can't.
Like, you couldn't call yourself a white trash devil rain, because that's what you are.
Yeah.
Look at you all fucking tattooed up devil rain.
Yeah, like I'm a white trash, like heavy metal, look like a biker. Like, I what?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
How about, not that this is a topic we're going to get into, but how about my boy turning Jackson State around?
Oh,
I mean, you know, He
is going to be one of the premier college football coaches.
Ever. Now, do you think that they're going to have to put some type of different set of parameters with this NIL, name, image, and likeness?
Yes.
Because right now it is literally the Wild West.
They've got to put in some kind of rules. Like, I agree that the players should get money. Like, if you're selling jerseys with the players, number on it and stuff, and they should be able to get money from it, but there's got to be some kind of rules to it.
There's got to be, like, I think they got to put a number. I think they got to put a cap on it. Like, a guy can, only take this amount of money, and then the rest of the money goes back to, like, let's just say that a guy got a Cadillac Escalade, because they're handing those out now.
Oh, yes.
But... Or let's say a guy got, $500,000 from Reebok or whatever. I think you need to, 50% goes to the player, and then the other 50% goes to the team to be divided up equally amongst the people on the team.
I totally agree with that.
So, let's say a guy gets $500,000, you take $250 you give to the player, you take the other $250 and you put it into a pool, and then the backup punter gets his share because he's part of the team.
I totally agree with that, because think about this. Like this kid that's going to be starting for Florida this year at quarterback, he's got the potential to be the best quarterback ever at
Since
Florida.
Tim Tebow?
Since Tim Tebow easily. Anthony Richardson, nickname AR-15. But
you better not say R15 will get monetized and will get demonetized.
I mean, that's a nickname of a football player.
I know, but still, it's also an assault weapon.
Anthony Richardson. So, but the offensive line that's blocking for him, they're not going to get the same name, image, likeness opportunity that he's going to get. So
the center that's calling out the fucking blocking schemes ain't getting dick.
Right. So there does need to be some profit sharing with the guys that are making these guys into superstars.
I agree. And you know what? If you even want to further it, 50% goes into the athletic fund, which could include the girls' volleyball backup girl, too. I mean, if you want to be totally, I think it's
fair about it, yeah.
Yeah. So 50% goes to the player right off the bat. Boom, he gets it.
Yep.
The other 50% goes into a fund, and that's divided equally amongst all the athletes of that university.
Yeah, I
That
agree.
could be a large number.
Yeah.
Let's say that, between basketball, let's just, for instance, think about the University of Florida, because that's what you know most.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, probably between the football and the basketball men's team
and baseball, they have a huge
you're right.
baseball
You're right.
team.
They got a huge baseball program, and probably track and field and all that other bullshit. You can't tell me that they couldn't probably put $10-15 million to the athletic fund to be divided amongst I don't know, probably a couple thousand kids.
Oh, they absolutely could, and it would make a difference in those kids' lives.
Oh yeah. So let's say you got 15. I mean, how many total student athletes do you think that you got at a university? You could probably, I could probably ask Alexa.
Yeah, they could probably tell you.
Hey, Alexa, how many student athletes does the University of Florida have?
Here's something I found on the web. According to Wikipedia.org, there are nearly 500 student athletes across 19 varsity sports competing for the university each academic year.
Okay, so 500. That's it, okay. So let's say there's $10 million, right?
Yep.
Well, if you divide that by 500, I mean, that's 20,000 a kid. And that makes a difference. That makes the backup, catcher on the girls' softball team vested in the starting quarterback's jersey sales.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
And $20,000 changes a kid's life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
She may not sell jersey one, the backup catcher for the fucking girls' softball team.
Nope.
But if she's getting a $20,000 check because the fucking quarterback is, sold a whole, she's happy as hell.
Absolutely. That's what that it needs to be more fair like that, and I think that would work out much better.
I think so too. I had a way to. I also had a way to fix the college playoff system as well.
Oh gosh, it needs to be fixed.
It does. It's so fucked.
It really is.
I think you take. First of all, you take the big bowls. How many? There's only about 5 or 6 really big ones.
Yeah.
You got the Rose Bowl. You got the Orange Bowl.
Sugar Bowl.
You got the Sugar Bowl. You got the Outback is probably a big bowl.
They've added, Outback's made it into a big bowl. The Cotton Bowl has made it into a big one.
Right. Probably all the ones that are all the January 1 bowls.
Yeah.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah, it's like the major 6. I think there's a major 6 bowls, and then they rotate the playoffs through all of them.
All right, so you rotate so that every 6th year one of those bowls gets to host the national championship. Well, all the ancillary bowls, the 5 of the 6 bowls, and then all the other bowls are all playoff bowls.
Yep.
And you take 12 teams instead of 4 teams.
Yes.
And you play, with 12, that's 12 teams is 6 bowls.
Yep.
And you pair it on down because, I mean, this year, Hatley, in college football, who were 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10
God.
that could have made, I'm
gonna have to look that up even if I can remember. It's because
like Notre Dame was in there, but they didn't make it.
What you do is, first of all, you do conference champion is automatically into the playoffs.
Yes.
No matter, record doesn't matter.
Right. And that's only 5?
Yeah, that'd be five. That'd be 5 power conferences.
Right. The Power 5.
Power 5, and then everybody else is an at-large.
Right.
from there. So you give 7 spots for at-large.
Right. And you know what? Throw an independent in there. I guess, well, that's probably going to be Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame would have gotten in.
But I think, really, honest to God, Notre Dame ought to join, not the ACC because it's shitty.
Yeah.
But they ought to join the Big
Ten.
Ten. Oh, my God. Can you imagine if Notre Dame was in the Big Ten and they were playing Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State, Indiana, Purdue, Wisconsin, Northwest. They play most of those teams anyway.
So top 4
territorially.
4 you had Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, Cincinnati. So then below that you had Baylor, Ohio State, Oklahoma State, Notre Dame, Michigan State, Oklahoma, Ole Miss.
Remember how good Michigan State started coming on?
Yep, Ole Miss and Utah. So that would have been your 12.
Yeah, and so you want to tell me that wouldn't have been more exciting where a Utah upsets an Ohio State or something like that? Because that shit's going to happen.
Oh, it's absolutely going to happen.
Take your top 12 teams and you bowl it off until it gets to the national, and then you tell these bulls, listen, every 6 years you're going to host the national championship.
Yeah.
But before that, you're going to be, and the sexiness of the bowls, like of the 5 remaining bowls left, those are your semifinals or your
huge TV ratings for those. Huge money for all of them.
They're leaving so much on the table.
They really are.
For that.
They really are. And they're worried about number of games. When you and I were growing up in the 80s, it was 10 games. They expanded it to 12 games in the 90s to make more money for the regular season. It needs to be a 10-game regular season, and then you can do playoffs. Exactly the way you want to do it.
Exactly. Anyway, Bubba and me and Hatley had a lunch meeting today, and I was like, Hatley, I got to take your ass home. So why don't? So I actually made Hatley like I was his boss back then. So Hatley, you got to come over and do a fucking show with me because the people love you. And so Hatley's like, yeah, we're going to. And so we're probably going to talk about a little bit about a couple of back in the day stories. And then I wanted to get into this District 13 deal. Now, I know that it's geographically kind of in our own backyard and somewhat local, but I'm really, really mad about. I guess I knew how dirty politics were, but I never knew how dirty this soft PAC money is.
It's everything.
Where you don't have to really take any type of onus in who you are. You could literally be Brent fucked donkey soft PAC Willie and go and just wreak havoc and spread lies and talk about misinformation.
And you can be completely anonymous.
Completely anonymous.
And say and do anything you want, and you wonder why our system's broken.
Oh, the thing about it is our system is so broken. You know what, Brent? We're so broken that I don't know if we're fixable.
Yeah, we're not. It's not. It's definitely not.
And the reason why I don't think we're fixable is because you can no longer have an opinion. You can no longer be offensive. Unless you're just a straight-ass, self-funded stand-up comedian or your Kid Rock or Joe Rogan. And even Joe Rogan, they even got Joe quelled down a little bit.
And because they come after him non-stop. And whatever your politics are or they aren't, like you got to give Trump credit for not caring. You got to give Trump credit for like standing there and being like, you know what? Here's the double tall man to everybody.
Yeah. Does he have a chance?
Yeah, of course.
In 2024,
of course.
Do you think that? Do you think he trumped himself out with the January 6th? And I thought that the first debate was just not good. He kind of learned from. He kind of got a little softer on the second, but. I don't know. You either respect his fuck you, resiliency, or it's time to move on because you're not electable.
So here's the deal.
I'm not trying to make this an I'm right, you're wrong. We're screwed deal. No. We're going to get into some other stuff too.
No, but here's the deal. If there's more than 2 candidates, if there's 3 or more, Trump wins the nomination for the Republicans. If there's just 2, if it's Trump versus DeSantis, it's going to be a hard battle.
And if I'm DeSantis, I stay out of the fray. I mean, because Trump can only be a one-timer.
Yeah,
we know that.
Yes. He's only got one term that he can run for.
Right, and so I don't know but DeSantis kind of has that. I'm going to fucking take what's mine too, right?
And DeSantis has such a good record to run on. It is really,
and he's not soiled up like he's not as toxic as Donald is.
And and DeSantis is a Navy veteran. Like,
yeah,
he's
you're not going to find near the shit on DeSantis that
no.
Donald's already got on him.
And that's the thing that you almost have to respect.
Neil Mount plays your $20 bill. Brent is fucking straight money.
The thing that you do have to, like, again, politics aside, respect about Trump. He's like, I don't care what you got on me. Remember Gary Hart, that Democrat in 88? He got ran out.
All they had on Gary Hart was this. And Brent, you're the historian, but let me see if my fucking 12th grade education from Warsaw, Indiana remembers it right, okay? All they had was this hot-looking chick sitting on his lap that said, and that his shirt said monkey business.
Yes.
That's all they didn't have him fucking her in a hotel.
Nope.
They didn't have phone records. They didn't have surveillance. They didn't have any sworn testimony. They didn't have her saying, oh yeah, he boned me all night long. They had a hot looking chick sitting on his lap in a and her shirt said monkey. Am I right?
You're right. That's exactly right.
Well, how about poor Howard Dean? All he did was just go, we're going to go to Michigan, and we're going to go to Illinois, and we're going to go to, woo! Like a real fucking madman, and they completely railroaded him.
And then he was done. And
I just don't get it. We're fucked.
Yeah. And you kind of have to respect somebody that's like, well, you can keep talking shit about me, but I'm going to keep going. You kind of got to respect that.
So before we get into, I want to break this. I want to talk about, and in full disclosure, we are friends with Kevin Hazlett. We know Kevin. Obviously Brent. Do you live in 13?
I do. I did. They redistricted me out.
Oh, now see, it does the redistricting Grouper Lips 1999 and a bitch 81. Brent is the man. God, Brent, too bad I just couldn't get your ass up to be part of the show again.
You know, a lot of times, like when you get up to go work out at the gym, I'm still awake.
2:50.
I'm definitely awake at night at that time.
Hadley, I got up today at 2:40.
I'm awake at that time.
Really?
Yeah.
You haven't even wound it down yet, have you?
No. Sometimes I'm working on stuff still at that time.
So Kevin is our guy. The redistricting actually is kind of more advantageous for Kevin, isn't it?
Because it's absolutely. He went from 13 went from a D plus 2 to a R plus 3. If you kind of look at the historic way it's voted.
Win golf $10. Thank you.
And I got districted into a Kathy Castor. I'm lumped into Kathy Castor, South Tampa, South St. Pete type deal. I'm into that district now.
Aren't you tired of the?
Oh my
Casters?
God! Oh my God!
And I don't even know what Castor this is. Like,
this is Kathy Castor. So her.
And but her mom.
It was her mom, and now it's her. And she doesn't do any events. She's the Democrat. She represents South Tampa and South St. Pete, and now other parts of St. Pete.
I'm Jane Castored out too.
Oh.
And I was Bob Buckhorned out.
It's
why is Tampa so fucking blue?
Tampa's is so blue, and it's so like the same people. Good old boy, like and you know we've met Ken Welch, who's the mayor of St. Pete. St. Pete has
that's what's refreshing in the fact that Ken Welch was kind of a political outsider. He was a
city council, county commissioner. He was
county commissioner, but he wasn't a caster,
or
a fucking or Bill Arrakis or all that bullshit.
No, he's from South St. Pete, and St. Pete's first black mayor, and he's not tied to that old group. Tampa is like the old guard. The mayor, Kathy.
When's the last Republican mayor of Tampa?
That would have had to be Greco.
I don't think Greco. I think Greco was D.
Really? I
think so.
I thought Greco was a. It's hard to.
I think in Tampa, it happens to be one of the cities where they don't list your political affiliation. I think
it is, and St. Pete does the same thing, but you can figure it out.
Right.
But you remember because we met Ken Welch because he was a really strong law enforcement guy in St. Pete.
I love
so
Ken
he's
Welch.
more in the middle, and he's not. He was a Democrat as a county commissioner, but St. Pete doesn't allow you to be part of a party. So he's like more in the middle because he does support the law enforcement.
People don't realize how didn't we when I ran for sheriff? Didn't I get like 38 or 39%?
Yeah, 39% of the vote,
and like 92% of the African American vote.
Yes. Well, but because and you were running against Jim Coates, who we became friends with. Good guy.
Problem,
it's just a lot of the events in South St. Pete you went to and he just didn't go to. Like you went to a lot of because a lot of them. Remember, you have to go to churches.
Remember when we had to go in front of Daryl Rousson
at the NAACP? Yes.
He never really liked me.
Oh no. And then when I ran for city council, he was a real dick to me too.
He's now no longer a senator, a state senator. He's like working for Rubio Law or something like that.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, he's like a lawyer now.
Probably went in there and did his couple terms.
Yep. And has his pension for the rest of his life.
He got mad at us when we started calling him out about buying a crack pipe. Didn't he buy a crack pipe or something?
Yeah, and he was a former drug addict, and he went in. But what he did was kind of fucked up. He went into a guy's like bong shop and started breaking the guy's merchandise, and that's what we got pissed about.
Oh, okay.
We were like, dude, what does a guy selling bongs for pot have to do with smoking crack?
After he became
reformed,
right?
And he was like, he was in government. And he went into like a head shop and started breaking the guy's glass pieces.
Remember the Billy Hell on Earth thing? Weren't you the guy to put all that together?
Yeah, so Billy from Hell on Earth, they were a local heavy metal band in St. Pete.
Brent's going to tell you this story. This is a back in the day story, and it's I don't even know if Brent, half the stuff that we did wouldn't even like
75%. We wouldn't get away. And when I tell people this, they think that I'm talking about when we were on Sirius. No, we were on terrestrial 98 Rock regular radio,
right?
Doing this, not on Sirius XM.
So explain to the people what the Billy on the Hell on Earth. This guy was going to kill himself live on the air, wasn't he?
So he had a guy that had terminal cancer, and the guy was going to kill himself on stage at a Hell on Earth show.
So hold on, there was a band called Hell on Earth.
Yeah, heavy metal band, local band in St.
Right,
Pete.
and Billy was the lead singer.
He was the lead singer,
and one of their number one fans was terminally going to die.
Yep.
And so Billy was going to let him do an assisted suicide live on stage.
Yeah, like a Kevorkian, you turn the switch deal live on stage.
And so Billy gets a hold of Brent because Brent's into the heavy metal scene. And Brent comes to me one day and be like, Bubba, what, Brent? Listen, I know it'll keep him. Brent I always knew there was some shit going down when Hatley wanted me to when he started out with listen, and then he would pre-qualify how I'm going to hate this, but I need to listen. Yeah. So
I was like at first you're not going to like it, but listen, I got something really good here.
I'm like, Brent, what? He's like, and I have ADHD to the times a zillion. I'm like, Hatley, what? Well, just promise we're going to keep an open mind. I'm like, so then Hatley goes, there's this guy, and so Hatley lays it all out.
I got this heavy metal band, Hell on Earth. They're outlandish, and they have a guy that wants to do like a Kevorkian, like a suicide, kill himself on stage because he's terminally ill.
And by the way, we never asked permission. Like, we didn't even ever walk this down to the offices. Remember?
Oh, they would have told us no way.
No, yeah. We always. I'm like, Hatley, we'll just do it.
So you're like, okay. Well, I was like, I'm like telling you, like, let's not let this guy kill himself in our studio, but let's let the band come in and tell us what they're going to do and promote the show.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
That caused like Jeb Bush.
Yes. Didn't the governor get involved?
Yes, Jeb Bush. Yes, that Jeb Bush was governor of Florida,
two-timer,
and he called a guy named Everett Rice, who was the sheriff of Pinellas County, Florida,
who did not like us.
And Everett picked up the phone and was like, "Bubba, you got to shut this down, man.
I ain't shutting shit down, Sheriff.
Bobby, you got to shut this down. I mean, Jeb Bush called me, and he is freaking out. You got to shut this down." So then they came in the first time and promoted it. The media freaked out.
Oh, yeah. And Billy's all fucking dreaded up. Looks like a straight degenerate dirt bag rocker.
He's like what Marilyn Manson's trying to be. He was that.
Oh, yeah.
He's
for real.
So he came in with his band. He's like, hey, we're going to do the show at this venue.
Nobody can stop us.
Nobody can stop us. We get the guy on the phone who's like, he's like that.
Yeah,
that
we're like, sir, please don't do this. He's like, I want to do it. Can't stop me. We're like, sir, and like we're baby facing, saying, oh, sir, please, nothing's worth doing that. He's like, don't tell me how to live my life. I want to do it.
I want to be out of pain. So then
the show got canceled. So then they were going to do it on the internet. And this was when the internet was brand new, wasn't it?
It was like, you're talking about
99.
02. No, I was on your show, so it was like 02.
Okay, it was 02. You're right.
So
01, 02.
So it was 01, 02.
Was it before our hog deal or after?
It was
before.
I think it was maybe just 01. It might have been just before.
Right.
And then
we were always getting into some shit.
Yeah, and then I had to go on. It's when Rita Cosby was on Fox News, so I had to go on Fox News and debate Bill Foster. But what they didn't know on Fox News is, I've known Bill Foster's my parents' attorney.
Yeah,
I know Bill.
We got Bill in based on the HNIC thing. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. And
do you remember that?
Oh yes,
as soon as she said that, Brent had it clipped, and we already had it to the police union. Remember?
Yep.
I gave it to Gov, and then Gov circulated it amongst the union, and she was like they're like, fuck that bitch. She was going to win.
She was going to win. Yeah, this woman was going to beat Bill because Bill Foster was a city councilman when we did the Hell on Earth thing.
Right.
So him and I are in the dressing room like pro wrestling, yucking it up, and then we get on Fox News and we're debating each other like we're really hot about it, and then we shook hands and left. And then what we did was, because you had to give equal time, he starts running for mayor of St. Pete. And he's running against this woman named Kathy. That's her first name.
What was her name?
Kathy, I forget her last name.
Kathy, I was going to win.
She
was, remember, trending like 8-9 points ahead of Bill.
So we gave them each an hour on terrestrial radio.
But I had Bill sent me. Bill gave me the questions that he wanted me to ask him, and then a little birdie gave me the questions that I was supposed to ask her.
And we didn't even make her say this. She referred to an African American gentleman as, quote unquote, I'm quoting, an HNIC. And we were like, what?
Yeah, she was like, this African American comes from the George Orwell Harvard University's professor HNIC theory or something like that. And I'm like, okay. Now, she said it correctly in context. She was not being racist, or she was quoting a professor's HNIC policy.
Right.
She was quoting an African American's HNIC policy.
Yeah.
Well, we just happened to conveniently edit it and clip it so that she just said that.
Yeah,
and we buried her.
Yeah, and just FYI, like even saying that as a white person does not come off that well.
No, and listen, we're only saying it as
what happened.
Tell the story of what happened. What happened to her.
I'm going to be honest with you. When she said that, I was shocked. I was too. I was like,
and she said it very brazen too.
She did.
It wasn't
the tone of voice is, I think, what did her.
And what she should have done is she should have qualified it better by saying, "Hey, listen, I'm going to use a term that's considered offensive.
Yeah.
I didn't make this term up. I don't use this term in my day-to-day interaction with anybody. I've never quoted this term in how I do business, but there was a professor, an African American, and his theory is called," and then she could, if she would have set it up better, it would have given us less stuff to bury her with.
Right. And it was,
right?
It was, yes, exactly. It was the way that she said it, and her tone of voice when she said it was just like,
right. And
it was
I can remember
whoa.
Pat McGovern was actually in, I was hitting the weight pile in my garage in my mansion in Tierra Verde, and I played it. I said, Pat, we got her saying this. He's like, what? And he said, so he drove his city squad car over to my fucking house.
I love it.
And picked it up. He said, how many copies can you make for me? I go, I don't know, 4 or 5. He goes, all right, give them all to me.
And then, and Bill Foster ended up doing a great job as mayor. Was
really, he a 1 or 2 timer?
He was 1.
And then fucking, was it Baker?
It was Kreisman.
That beat him?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that. And Kreisman ended up being a tour, did he not?
Yep, he did. He did.
Well, did you? How was Kreisman? You didn't really live here.
I did. I lived here towards the end of Kreisman. You know what? He tried. Here's the. We know Jeff Knight.
Yeah.
Who's run? He's a Jeff Knight. Just so if you don't live in this area, is a very, very wealthy man who has a lot of businesses.
Right, and he's been an unbelievable businessman. He's just a very successful. Good. You know what? Good, fair.
Yes.
Regular dude. Got boat, hot bitches. Just like Brent, if you and I had money, that's how Jeff Knight lives.
Yes. So Jeff Knight.
Did you know Jeff Knight bought my old plane?
I did not know that.
My old Bubba Army plane. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Jeff Knight, this is what he did for St. Pete that I love. So during COVID, Kreisman gets this idea that he's going to lock St. Pete down during COVID. And Jeff Knight's like, oh, yeah, because, he has a bunch of businesses down there.
He owns an entire city block.
Yeah, those businesses need to be open for him to make money. So he was like, oh, yeah, well, I'll sue you. And he sued and kept Kreisman from shutting St. Pete down. So,
man, St. Pete's booming.
It is.
now.
It is booming. It is one of the best places in America to live right now.
And you live right in the thick. I mean, I know you have a car, but that's probably just to drive over and see Caitlin's parents and whatever, and go to whatever swinger joint you're going to.
Exactly.
But you, within your little world, it's almost like living in New York, where you could almost walk everywhere.
Everywhere. Publix is in walking distance. Everything's walking distance.
Trop,
everything.
Did
Bars.
you go? Have the Angels been to town yet?
They come here at the end of the month.
Are you going?
4 games. Yeah, I'm definitely going. Now, even though the Angels just got rid of almost all their good players except for Ohtani and Trout.
Will they ever get rid of Trout? I mean,
no.
They, but hold on.
You can't.
If you're rebuilding though, like they always are, then you can. He's still probably got 4 or 5 years of unbelievable ability. I mean, you could completely rebuild your team from the draft picks and the prospects you could get from that guy. The one guy is not going to win you shit. One guy is not going to win you shit. You know that.
Like I know, and he's won MVP and all kinds of stuff, and they haven't won anything. And they've got Ohtani now, who's the Japanese Babe Ruth.
I know. So why don't you? I mean, you keep Ohtani.
They got to. They're getting ready to sign him to a big deal.
I know, and he's young.
Yep.
But with Trout, I mean, you could still get a
ton.
Yeah.
You can get a ton.
I mean,
for him.
And Trout probably wants to play on a team that's a contender, right?
Oh, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he wants a World Series. Right? He's won everything else. Jerry, what's his name that owned the Lakers would say?
Jerry Buss.
Jerry Buss would say he's won all the things that don't count.
Yeah, like when Red Auerbach said.
he goes. We got the GM of the year. We got the MVP. We got the organization of the year. And Jerry Buss is like, congratulations, Red. You won all the things that don't count.
Yeah. I loved that. If any of you who are watching right now have never seen Showtime,
my God.
History of the Lakers,
it's so good.
But I kind of wish they kind of glossed over the Magic HIV deal.
Well,
it opens up with it. That would open, but it doesn't really,
because they don't really get to 91. I mean, it's really about the 79-80 season. So.
I know. I think I know exactly where I was sitting. I know exactly where I was when he did that press conference. Do you remember the press conference?
Yeah. You know what? It was
in 91.
It was in 91. I was in Orange County, California, and I was in the Marines, and we were watching.
So you're just down the road from where he's making this announcement.
Yeah.
I was in Chicago, Illinois, doing mornings for Hell 94.7. Okay, this motherfucker here. You guys get rid of this guy. This fucking guy who always fucking with Hatley. And Brent, I hope you're taking note of this. I hope you are.
Oh yeah,
because this guy here is obsessed with you.
It's insane.
2017 white Buick that Brent isn't allowed to drive. This guy, Donkey Teeth, get rid of this motherfucker.
And who cares? Like, why would you even care about
Brent,
that?
I didn't really know. You would, and I don't want to get too much involved in this, but there's this one guy who just keeps fucking with you, nonstop. And I don't know. Before I saw it a couple weeks ago when we did the show with Babyface, you had told me about it, and I was like, oh, whatever. I didn't really.
I mean, you've dealt with your fair share. of this
and
too.
I was like, all right, Hatley, we got haters, okay. This guy,
it's a psychopath.
He won't let he follows you to every, not only on your Brent and Caitlin deal, and then your Brent deal, and then the Caitlin deal, and then you're in. He follows you to everything that you're doing, whether it's the miserable men stuff, whether it's, I don't know, he and hasn't he been told to stop? By a judge?
Yeah, I went for a restraining order, and because he's 19, I talked to his lawyer and said, listen, I'll give him another chance if he'll just leave me alone. And he told the judge he would leave me alone, and he hasn't done it. So,
and look, he makes a new name.
Yeah.
How many names can this guy make?
It's insane. The number is insane. This guy is a total psychopath, and he's 19, and that's when psychopaths are most dangerous. Is at this age right here.
He won't stop.
Yeah, he won't stop. He can't. It's a compulsion.
But
he can't stop.
But what did you do to him?
This is what he claims. He got in the chat because I was doing a Twitch show. He got in the chat and started defending Michael Rappaport.
Okay.
And I greased him because he was putting over Michael Rappaport.
Okay.
I'm doing a show. I'm doing an entertainment show. Michael Rappaport's somebody that I don't like. He's somebody that's talked about sexually assaulting my wife. So, of course, if you're going to put over Michael Rappaport...
I mean, it'd be like if somebody was putting over Mike Calta for me.
Yeah.
Right?
You're going to grease him. You're going to grease him.
Pack sand, fucking buddy.
Yeah.
My deal.
Yeah. You're going to grease him. Like that. It's just... But you're doing a show.
Right.
That's how the show... But
and we are public figures, and we got to put up with a certain amount of that. But that's it.
Yes. But the personal things that he does that are not covered by the First Amendment is the problem.
And so we did I'm right, you're wrong, we're screwed. And I'm watching this guy, and I'm not saying anything. I finally blocked him and stuff. And then afterwards, I'm like, Brent, I had no idea that this guy was that obsessed with you. And then Brent got into, well, he's been told by a judge to stop, and he just cannot stop.
It's compulsive.
Now, does he not know that whatever... Listen, buddy, I know you're watching. I know you've created 5 or 6 different screen names just within this broadcast. and okay, but like, you need to let it go, buddy, because we're going to... I'm just going to be honest with you. We're going to present this as evidence against you. That's not going to look good. Does he not? Can he not? Okay, I'm sure he's a 19-year-old kid that can form a decent thought, right? And so, Brent, like, if a judge has told you stop,
yeah,
and you don't stop, and you don't stop to the point where you just are nonstop with like, as soon as you block one name, he's got 3 others in the hopper to go, and he just keeps going on. And we can show the chat log, and we can show this.
Yep.
Doesn't he understand that that's not going to do well for him?
And it's in the state of Florida, we have a very strong law against that. It's called Florida State Statute 748.048, cyber stalking. There's a cyber stalking law. And it's not just even the chat, it's the personal contacts. And then he used the court documents to publish my information everywhere, to dox me. Oh, it's this person, this is the problem with, and I think him being 19, and I think being locked down for COVID, because he's a super liberal. I think being locked down for COVID, I think while his brain was still developing, he's developed a psychosis. He's psychotic and compulsive.
That's only based on the interaction that he's had with you.
Correct.
I mean, you're not a doctor. You're not a trained professional that can make that analyzation. But what you are is a guy that this guy will not leave alone. And so you can form that opinion by saying, God, buddy, let it go. Just leave me alone.
It's a compulsion. Think, this is what I don't understand. When I was 19 years old, I was not concerned with a 51-year-old man. When I was 19 years old, I was concerned with chicks that are around my age
that want to get pumped.
Yeah, I was living to want to get pumped. I was living in Orange County.
I was going to say, I thought maybe you were living with Charles and your mama, and you were trying to fucking, because boy,
I was not living at home. I was living in Orange County, California, around hot chicks, and I did not care about 51-year-old men at all, or people that I didn't know.
You're 51 now, man. Look at you.
Yeah, 51. And I was out on the town in Southern California having a great time.
What city did you live in, other than Tampa, had the best ass? I'll tell you mine. You won't even. You may know mine.
So I will say this: the Tampa Bay area is number 1 by far. I'd say number 2 would have to have been Orange County, California, where when I lived in Tustin, and in the early 90s. Unbelievable.
You want my guess?
Yeah.
Milwaukee.
There's hot chicks in Milwaukee.
Oh,
huh?
and they like to fuck. And they just like to fuck. And you know what, Brent? Milwaukee is one of the very few towns where there's more taverns than churches.
I love that.
And I know you love that.
And you know what? You know why what you're saying sounds true is because I know a guy that runs like swingers events all over the country, and he was like, listen, you're not going to believe me, but the chicks get the wildest in these Midwestern towns in like Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan. He was like, these swingers in these towns are just out of control fun.
Oh, because they're suppressed.
Yeah.
And they, they can't really do a lot. And then when the traveling swinging show comes to town,
he said they go berserk at his events, berserk up there.
So let's. This guy's distracting me. Like this guy is fucking with me now.
Yeah.
Like and my show.
Yep.
And listen, Donkey Teeth and all my moderators, man, just fucking not only block him but report him.
Yep.
Like there's a thing. And you can report, and just put hate speech or graphic violence,
targeted harassment too,
or targeted harassment. But Brent, when we do that, does he just create another name?
Yep. He impersonates me on Twitter and creates multiple accounts per day. It's a whole thing with this guy. It's a whole thing. And there are other haters, but you can tell it's him because he's the only one that takes it to this level. He's the only one.
It's like, well, he's very disruptive.
Yeah, that's all he's trying to do. He's trying to derail a good show. When I filled in on Florida Man Radio.
Yeah, which by the way, fuck you. Because they asked me if they they went to me.
Yeah, Shane told our guy Shane told me.
Yeah, Shane's like, hey, we'd like Hatley to. I'm like, me and Hatley are golden. I go, I said that should be the guy you go to. So you do know too that when Howard hired you, I don't know if the public knows this. You know this because you and I have spoke about it. But when you were out at you were in L.A. and I think you were up like you were talking to the NFL. You were working for Mary Jo Henner or whatever her name was.
Mary Lou Henner, and
right.
I had just gotten fired from that job, and I was going through my background check for the NFL, and
right, you were going to do you're going to produce their
TV morning show,
right? And you're going to stay in L.A.
Yep,
and everything is going to be great.
Yep.
Well, you had lunch or somebody. No, I'm sorry. I think if I tell the story wrong, then correct me. But if not, you were at a Sam Simon event, and you saw Beth, Howard's wife, Beth, at the event.
Yep.
And Beth was like, Brent, what's going on? Because, fuck Beth. And,
when we were putting the channels together back in 2005, like Beth participated a lot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and we've all remained friendly.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I love Beth.
And she's amazing.
And Beth knows how pro-animal you are. And so Beth sees you, and I think I got it right so far. Beth sees you at
Sam Simon's birthday party. Yep.
She's like, Brent, what the fuck? And so you're like, hey, Beth. And she's like, what's going on? And Brent's like, well, I was working for this one chick, Mary Lou Jenner or whatever. And,
Mary Lou Henner. And I was like, I'm working at KFI, and I'm in the background check for NFL. And I was like, and I've talked to the senior vice president for Howard's channels about a job too.
And she goes, does Howard know that? And Brent's like, I don't know. I mean, I talked to Jeremy Coleman. And Beth's like, well, does Howard know that you're? And Brent's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna fuck.
I'm not going around.
Well,
Jeremy.
he will know.
She was like, I'm going to tell him. I was like, well, he's your husband. You can.
Yeah.
you can tell him anything you want.
Plus, you're pretty steamy.
Yeah.
I always thought Beth was beautiful.
She is, and
you know what makes her more beautiful?
Her personality.
Yes, she. Listen, you can have your problems with Howard, you people out there, and you can call Beth a gold digger and all kind of deal.
She's definitely not.
She genuinely loves Howard.
Yep. And
look how long. If she was a gold digger, she would have been long gone after Howard. And I really do think, Brent, that my wedding is the wedding that kind of got the juices flowing for Howard to marry Beth. Yeah. If you remember right, it was
because he was adamant against getting married before
right,
that.
And then he had such a great time at our wedding, and did we even know how special of a time that was?
No.
I mean, Howard loaded up the private jet, and you know how much of an agoraphobia is. He hates, dealing with people and stuff like that. He loaded up the private jet and brought it might be since the time they all went to Vegas, it might be the only time they went anywhere together.
Yeah, so that time, and then we all went to L.A., but no, we didn't get to go on the private jet. We had to,
schlep it.
Me, Shuley, Fred, Will.
I think
we had to fly commercial.
I think
to LA.
other than my wedding, the LA trip, which was the opening of the Sirius XM LA studios, might have been the only other time that he did anything like that.
Yeah. And that was to come down here to support you and be your friend. Like the LA trip, like I can tell you, was business, and he wasn't that thrilled about it. He wasn't that thrilled about doing it.
I think contractually he had to do it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Howard, you got to do it. We're paying you $1 million. So they're like, okay,
and they're like, hey, we need you to do it.
But down here, it was pure, I'm doing this on my own dime, my own shit. I love Bubba.
Yeah. And he came down, and it was awesome.
So anyway, Beth says, hey, well, fuck. So next thing you know,
that Monday morning.
And you can always tell when Howard's calling you because he's got that super under K5, no caller ID, yippee fucking yo deal that comes through when he calls you. And even when you're talking to Howard on the phone, I don't know, I get goosebumps when you talk to him on the phone because he sounds like it's like Bubba Howard. I'm like, hey, buddy. He's like, hold on. For everybody that's calling in, just hold on a second. Let me just put them on hold. Hey, can you hold on a second, buddy? Hold on. Okay, thanks. Get that dick out of your mouth and hold on. Whoever this is, just hold on a second, okay, buddy? So it was a Sunday, like about 1:00 in the afternoon. And my phone's ringing, and it's that no caller ID Howard Stern shit that comes up. And I'm like, hello? And he's like, Bubba Howard. Like, hey, listen, I want you to be totally honest with me. And at that point, Brent, I think I'm in trouble.
Yeah. What did I do? What did I say?
Even though I'm not working for Howard anymore, I still, as soon as anybody says that to me, I'm like, it's like when Tom Bean would say, listen, I need you to be honest with me. There was never, we just won the lotto.
After that. Yeah, that was not good. When Tom Bean says, I need you to be honest with me, there's nothing good coming after that.
Usually there's never anything good about that statement at all.
Ever.
Whether it's your wife, your girlfriend, your fucking your brother. I need you to be honest with me. I'm like, oh, okay, Howard. He goes, we're thinking about hiring Brent as an associate producer, like some kind of big time bullshit. And I know that he left your show. I don't know under what conditions. You and Brent seems like a solid guy. Are you guys? And I go, let me just stop you. The answer, I said literally, I said, let me just stop you. I would be honored for Brent, one of my guys, to go work for you. Brent is always welcome back to my place. He did not leave on any bad terms. And I love the guy, and it would be an honor. He goes, I just want you to know that if the answer was no, we weren't gonna continue the process of hiring him. But are you sure? I'm absolutely sure. Did you know that call happened?
Yes.
You did?
I did.
Did Jeremy tell you, or did Howard?
No, another person, the person that handles Howard, called me and told me that.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
So you knew that I gave it the okay?
Yes.
Not that it really mattered, but I just thought it was very old school and admirable. I thought it was like it's the way old school does it. You know?
Well, I absolutely knew that because the person that handles him called me and told me that.
Really?
Yep. Oh yeah.
And, and it would have been easy for Jeremy to make that call, but Howard made the call.
Yep.
And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool.
And so we're talking about this District 13 U.S. Congress race that we have here.
Yes, in the newly created District 13.
And, Jesus, this guy, commercial real estate assistant. That's who he is now.
Because you know where that comes from? Because that's what Caitlin used to do.
Are you that's how deep this goes?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, his new fake name was Commercial Real Estate Assistant, and he just got deleted by Donkey Teeth. Donkey Teeth, make sure you also report each deletion. Like, don't just delete his messages, but flag his okay, here we go. Proton Mail is now his late. Hell, Brent, I could just sit here and just read his hater accounts.
Yeah, because you know why he uses Proton Mail? Because that's a company out of Sweden, and they refuse to turn any information over to the police. So anybody can sign up for Proton Mail and stalk anybody.
Oh, and so now he's kind of throwing it in your face a little.
Yeah,
bit,
because he's throwing it in my face because I get emails daily from him.
I'm not going to say what I want to say. I'll talk to you privately. Wow. All right. So we got this District 13 race, and it's it's this District 13 congressional race that we have going on in our own backyard, and with our good friend who's a candidate, Kevin Hazlett, really, really has opened my eyes to how dirty, slimy, untrue the political world really is. You don't have to have a shred of truth. All you have to do is have a pile full of money.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
You don't even have to live. You don't even have to live in the district that you're running for. I could literally be running for mayor of Orlando right now.
Yep.
And if I win, I just move over there within 60 days.
To me, that doesn't even make sense.
Like, that's rule change number one.
Yeah.
You got to fundamentally live. And the race in itself is kind of an insult to everybody that knows that has actually grown up in Pinellas County.
Yes.
It's an insult to, I don't care if you're Republican or you're Democrat, you're Libertarian, you're Independent, you're gay, you're black, you're white, you're a woman, you're a man, you're fat, you're skinny, you're transitioning. I don't give a fuck. It's absolutely a slap in your face at this lunatic, at the candidate that only has one thing going for her. And that is, when she was the only pretty-faced female that the GOP had to go against Charlie Crist, she happened, by whatever grace of God, to get Trump's endorsement last election ago.
Yeah.
Now,
because she was the only one, she was the only Republican.
Right. And you know what she is? Do you know what Luna is? She's Charlie Crist in a skirt.
Yeah.
That's exactly. There are all types of excerpts of her supporting Obama. She loves open borders. She supported Obama's immigration policy. She's pro-amnesty. In fact, I think one of her nicknames is Amnesty Anna. Liberal Luna. And like, if you know anything about the people that are running for this race and you don't do your due diligence and see just, this is almost the template that Trump created. And that is, if I'm famous or I'm good looking or I'm a celebrity or I can just get in office, if I can just bamboozle myself in office, then I will become a celebrity.
Right.
And a star. And if I can just do 2 terms, then I'm vested on a pension for the rest of my life, sucking the government teat.
Yep. And you get to go do public appearances where you get paid. That's what she's in it for.
Listen, look it up. This woman wants amnesty for illegals. She supports citizenship for illegals. She shields illegals from deportation. Again, she's Charlie Crist in a skirt. She got killed by Charlie Crist last election.
And she cannot win in the general election.
And I think she's from California.
Yeah, she's not from here, and she cannot win in the general election. That's the thing. If you're a Republican voter voting in this Republican primary and you want this seat to be a red seat, to be a Republican seat, you put up Luna, you will lose to the Democrat. Kevin Hazlett is the guy that will beat the Democrat. I mean, that's the bottom line. If you want that seat to be a Republican seat, you need to go with Kevin in this primary.
This woman, this Anna Luna Molina Spalina, she's a liberal.
Yeah.
She's not a conservative. And she wears these army fatigues. And, like, do you know that she's never been deployed anywhere outside of Eglin Air Force Base? That she's never been in combat? Isn't that kind? Now, you are a honorably
honorably discharged Marine. I've got 3 sea service deployment ribbons.
You did your time. You were honorably discharged. You know,
Middle East.
You were in combat. You the rifle that you had and the sidearm that you had, you fired. You were in a combat zone. You fought for our country. You just didn't train on some Air Force base. You as a veteran, I'm not even a veteran, but you as a veteran have to be offended and pissed off when you see somebody like her faking the funk and basically really, really on a slippery slope on some of the pictures that she takes and some of the claims that she makes as a combat veteran.
Yeah, what she's trying to do is she's trying to paint a picture that isn't exactly true.
No, it's there's about a tenth truthness to us in the fact that she was enlisted
in the Air Force.
In the Air Force,
she wasn't.
That's the only truth to what she says.
And no disrespect to the Air Force, but the Army and the Marines are the ones that are in the front lines.
Hi, who's this? You're on the air.
Yeah, what she's trying to do is.
I know our show sucks and it's making you fall asleep, but you know what? You're such a fuck up that you're listening to it. And then you're even calling to be on the air to hear it. And I'm man enough to put your stupid ass on the air. That's how fucking secure I am. But not for a minute would you tell me who you are, or would you come down here and face me like a man? Because if so, just tell me your name. What's your name?
You know what?
On an unavailable Brent blocked phone line.
Of course. Ooh, that old gag.
You and I do, and I don't like something, I turn the dial and don't ever go back again.
Who has time for it?
I'm not crank calling the Cleveland Browns and telling them how much of a shitty pick Deshaun Watson was.
Yeah, no. I tell people all the time, like, look, listen, I'm not a fan of Oprah Winfrey, but I don't watch her show, so it doesn't affect me.
I'm a fan. I'd like to blast the shit out of her.
Yeah. Like, her stuff on 60 Minutes is pretty good, but her show itself is not that good.
But, Brent, how over would I be if I went, hey, Hatley, guess what?
What's that?
Guess who my first black girl was?
Who was that?
Oprah.
Oh, yeah, you'd be way over.
I know. You'd be like, man, tell me about how.
Yes.
Tell me.
Yes, you'd be way over. Think of what a stud Stedman is.
Oh, he's got the best gig in the world.
Ever. He's got his own house on her property. He's not even in the house with her.
He's just blasting hotties.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't even know which way Oprah swings.
Any way is fine, but.
She can swing any way she wants. She probably swings like I'm over the shit.
Yeah.
Because, women, they're not nearly, as women get older, they don't like to screw as much as us guys do. Now, this isn't an Oprah thing. This is a woman thing. You know that.
Yeah.
Do you think your mom and dad are still cranking it down?
I doubt it. I have no idea, but I doubt it.
You don't think Charles is taking that shit from behind?
I doubt it. He's gotten up there in age.
How is he?
He's good for his age. He's in this.
Is he still pretty sharp?
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely sharp.
He still cut a promo on you?
Oh yes. He's yes, and he's in his upper 80s.
And
now.
He wasn't your real dad, but he was a good dad. Was he not?
He was really good.
And Brent, let's just be honest. You didn't make it easy on them.
Oh no.
You weren't the ideal son.
I was a hellion. I wasn't.
You were a goddamn handful.
Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't get into a good direction until the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps straightened me out.
Now, and how fast did that happen?
Real fast. As soon as you get off that bus at Paris Island, your whole world
So how
changed.
does it go, Brent? You go down there to sign up.
Yeah.
So you're this kid. You're a senior, junior in high school. Now, are you causing problems? Are you smoking weed? Are you are you getting good grades? Because you're smart as hell, but were you getting good grades?
So I got A's in history and English, and everything else was C's and D's.
Because you didn't give a fuck.
Math
is stupid.
I just did not care. But I didn't really start smoking weed but in high school. I started kind of smoking after the Marine Corps is when I started smoking.
After the Marine Corps?
Yeah.
Like you can't smoke it during, can you?
No, because I worked in aviation, so you get drug tested all the time.
I wonder if let's see if this is Snooze Fest.
Hey, Bubba, man, loving the show.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. So, District 13, who's taking it?
It's right now. It's a dead. It's a dead. They're calling it a too close to call. But God, I tell you, for you people that live in 13, I used to, but for people that I feel for you if you don't get Kevin in there.
Yep, it's August 23rd is the primary. August 23rd.
And listen, if Kevin wins the primary, I think he wins it all.
If Kevin wins the primary, he's definitely going to win in the general election. If Luna wins the primary, the Democrat wins. That is the bottom line that you need to consider.
I mean, listen, man, just you know what? All I can say, sir, is of course I'm pro Kevin, but do your research and just look at each candidate. And if there's not a clear cut person that you should be voting for, then you may not have an IQ over 62.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Brent, when are you going to run again?
Never.
Why, buddy? Come on, we need you out here.
My wife will not allow me to run for politics again.
Yeah, and Brent's lifestyle, they would just rake him over the coals because Brent's honest.
No, we need him out here.
No, but hold on, because Brent's transparent and honest with his swing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need him out here representing for the cuckolds of Florida, man.
This is that guy.
Yeah.
All these dumb cucks out here need a representative, and that is Bort fucking Hatley.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to see, buddy?
That's him. There's the psycho.
All right, is this actually him?
Yeah.
Really? He sounds older than 19.
Because he's like 6'1".
I'm not the fucking 19-year-old. Brent is so delusional in his deluded cuck brain. He thinks everyone is one person. There's hundreds of people that hate him. My God.
No, listen. Listen, buddy. Listen. I'm not even hanging up on you. I'm just going to let you keep going.
I like you, Bubba. Bubba, you're cool.
And
I do like you.
And I like you too, but I don't like what you're doing to one of my very best friends. And I mean,
Bubba, you made a career out of fucking with him. Come on, bud.
I didn't make a career out of fucking with him. Brent was my best executive producer I ever had. He was one of my best co-hosts. He's one of the most well-read guys I've ever had. And my whole career is fucking with everybody, including myself, if you really were to be honest.
I appreciate that, Bub. I appreciate your honesty.
All right, and so why don't you do this for me, okay?
What's up, buddy?
Let's just stop the shit.
Let's
be real men here and just quit fucking with Brent.
Buddy, come on. It's the public eye. It's give and take. You can't have it all and not get any of the shit. Come on.
Getting shit is one thing, but
all right. What happens, Brent? I mean, what people make memes of you, post porn that your wife puts out there. I mean, come on, bud.
Are you gonna let me finish, or are you gonna filibuster?
No, hold on. Let me. I'll even mediate this. I don't know, Brent. I don't even want to say the guy's real name. Let's just call him Fred. Okay.
Okay.
Fred's perfect.
Fred, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you, sir, but that's not your real name, obviously. So we'll just call you Fred for these argument purposes. So Fred, I need you not to interrupt Brent right now. And I'm going to let Brent talk, and then you can talk, and then we can go back and forth. But you can't interrupt, and we're not going to get to the insulting portion of this, okay? So
all right, sounds good. Fair enough.
Fred, you said your piece. Now, Brent, now over to you, Brent.
So, do you think that emailing my landlord to try to get me evicted do you think that that's okay?
Are you breaking the rules to do something to get evicted?
What does it matter, though?
I'm just asking.
No. Answer my question first. Do you think that that's okay? Like interfering in my life personally, do you think that's okay?
I mean, if you're doing something that can endanger others, absolutely.
Fred, if I may stick in,
am I doing that's going to endanger
if I may step
in? I'm not the one who sent the email, so I couldn't tell you why it was sent. I'm saying if you're doing something like that, absolutely.
Even if you don't live there and have nothing to do with anything, my neighbors aren't obviously worried about it.
Now, Brent, I will say, if it was a neighbor, your guy next door, and he writes landlord, that guy has standing to do that.
Of course, but that's not what's going on here. Okay. Okay. Can you be quiet for a minute? Like,
all right, sweetheart.
Yeah. You would never say that to my face, and you know it.
Yeah, I would.
Okay. When and where? When and where?
Listen, both of you, calm it down, Fred. When
and where, Fred?
Fred. Here's the deal. What did Brent do for you to be absolutely just? Fred, it's borderline. It's obsessive. All the screen names that you create. You've called the show now. Fred, I've been very respectful to you.
You have been, Bubba.
Right. So I expect the same. So Fred, anywhere Brent goes, listen, I don't have any dog in the fight between you and Brent, but when you then start fucking with my show that involves Brent, just because you have some kind of personal fucking hang up over Brent, that's not fair to me. So why don't you just leave us alone while we're doing our thing, and if you want to get back to fucking with Brent on your time, that's great, but don't fuck with him on my time, because he's one of my very dear friends, and I think that this whole thing is bullshit, and I think that you've taken it way too far, and if this is your claim to fame or your 15 minutes, stop. I'll give you a forum to speak, but stop fucking with my best friend.
All right, can I say something, Bubba?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. So, all the screen names and chat and stuff, I don't do that. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and make account after account. That's ridiculous.
Well, then
I
who
agree
is?
with
Well,
you.
then who is?
So do you
Oh,
agree
I
with?
have no idea. It's the internet. I don't know all these fucking people.
All right.
But like
All right,
the
keep
number
going.
to the show, I can call up and do that.
Sure.
I don't think that's derailing you too much.
And hold on, and you've called this one time, and so we've been able to speak about this freely, and so you're right. You did call, but I think continuing to call and fucking harass me only takes away from the potential stuff we would like to talk about, because now I'm dealing with your bullshit, and now we've addressed your issue, and we don't need to talk about it anymore.
All right, well, I mean, I guess I'll tell the whole internet to lay off Brent then.
Yeah, you do that for me. That would be
See,
great.
this is what they do is when you start pinning them down to things that are actual specifics, then they broaden it out to it's the whole internet. So they're just posting stuff about you. No, they emailed Ken Welch's office impersonating me, saying all kinds of nasty things about him. They posted on Reddit. They posted a picture of Shuley with a Nazi poster. Do you agree with that?
No.
Brent, I didn't
Do you yes
don't
or
even
no?
have it right.
Yes
You
or
got me
no? Do you
banned
agree?
from
Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you agree?
I don't believe in Nazi hate groups, Brent. I mean, it's obvious.
But that was on. I've got the screenshot. I've got the screenshot. It was posted on Reddit.
Okay, well, you have a picture of me standing beside it with my thumbs
But
up?
I asked, do you agree with it? Is my question. Yes or no?
No, Brent, I don't believe in Nazi hate groups. I don't agree with them. I don't support them.
And so, do you agree with all the racism and the misogyny and the terms that you were using are bigoted terms? You agree with all that?
What term have you heard me say, Brent?
The term
Which one?
the term cuck is a bigoted term.
Oh my God! How so?
Because what you were
It's your
saying. Because
lifestyle.
I'll explain.
You're not-
If you shut up for a second, I'll explain how it is. It's because what you're trying to say to another guy is if you're a swinger, then you're less than a man because you don't control your woman. So therefore, that is a Jason. Shut up. That is a Jason. See, are you going to filibuster or are you going to let me talk? Because every time I start to make a point, you try to talk over me. Because
so hold on now, Fred. I'm going to let Brent say this, and then Fred, if you can be quiet. I'm going to then I'm going to ask your opinion of what Brent says, okay? But you're not going to interrupt him, and then I'll throw it over to you here momentarily, Fred. Brent, continue on.
So the term cuck is bigoted because what you're saying is if you quote unquote allow, which I don't own anybody, nobody does, allow your wife to have sex with somebody else, then that means you're less than a man or you might be gay. So that's the connotation that you're making.
I let my best friend blast my wife, and I'm not gay, and I don't think I'm less of a man.
But I think the people that call you a cuck are being bigoted too. What it is they're getting their maleness offended. That's why this guy's so mad. His maleness is offended.
Fred, may I ask a question? Have you ever thought that a guy that maybe would let another guy fuck his wife might be the most secure motherfucker in the world?
What consenting adults do behind closed doors, I could care less about.
Then why are you insulting me
Brent,
about it?
shut up. Fred,
I'm not.
Fred,
you did.
Brent, be quiet. Fred, hold on, everybody. Hold on. Fred.
That's an insult, stupid.
Fred.
How's it an insult?
Fred. I shut Brent up. Now I want you. You just answered the question beautifully. What consenting adults do behind closed doors is nobody's business. What Brent does with his wife behind closed doors is not your business.
Question real quick, Bubba.
Last question, Fred, then I'm done with you because you've kind of derailed where I was going with.
When someone tries to profit and put out into public what they do behind closed doors, is it open for public ridicule then?
To an extent, yes. But when you hold on. To within the forum that it's being hosted on, yes. But when you then go out and get a hold of somebody's landlord and all the other things that this person and maybe it's not you, Fred. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's not you. I think it is. But that being said, Fred, I think I'm being very, very, very fair.
You are, but you can't blame me for all the ills of the internet.
No, I'm not, Fred. I'm not. I'm thinking potentially you are this person that's fucked with Brent, but maybe you're not. That being said, the shit that this person or some people have done to Brent that I know is chicken shit. As a man, it's chicken shit. And for the whomever, say it's not you, Fred. Maybe it's your fucking best friend. To be this obsessed with a 51-year-old man that's living his life the way he wants to live it, and to do the things that he has done, that you guys have done to him, and fake swatted him, and just landlords, and just nonsense. Letters to the anonymous letters to the mayor written by Brent Hatley, just of really horrible shit, and just it's chicken shit. There's so much other good things in the world you could worry about than Brent fucking Hatley and his opinion on Michael Rappaport or his wife or any other fucking thing. There's so much more things that you could really be doing other than fucking with Brent.
And also, Fred, it's illegal to take stuff that we put up behind a paywall and post it for free. You do realize that? That's a violation of federal law. Are you familiar with the 18 United States Code 2257? Do you know what that law is?
Motherfucker, quit flattering yourself. I'm not pirating your wife's gross-ass porn. Like, for the love of God, man. Like,
all right, Fred.
Yes.
Brent asked you a question politely,
and
you automatically have to insult it.
Yeah, because he knows he's wrong. But
so anyway, listen, Fred. I'm Fred.
Right.
I wish you the best, Fred. You got.
Thanks for having me on, Bubba. I appreciate it, bud.
And more importantly, grow up, Fred.
And
refocus on what you're doing, buddy. I'm sure there's some good in there somewhere, Fred.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, Fred, you take care. You take care, my friend.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
And he's just trying to be nice to me to get to you. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna fucking. He can't say I didn't give him a fair chance. No kidding.
No, you see the ridiculousness is it's the goalposts get moved every time.
Hello.
Riveting.
Answer because I'm not doing a.
Hello?
I don't understand. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to ask you guys, either you guys have a fake caller or it's you guys acting like you're Matthew, because Matthew's sitting right here with me.
This is his mom.
Oh, this is his mom. Okay.
So I don't know who
you guys have on, but we have been laughing our asses off.
Quiet down. She called me when I was guest hosting on Florida Man Radio, and
right.
This you talk about probably the worst parenting that you've ever heard. Everything that you bring up that he's done, all she ever does is go, he's 19. He's 19. He's 19.
Oh, she hung up on me.
Yeah.
I was wanted to get into a spirited debate here. I would love to have.
Oh, believe me, she doesn't.
Well, what's better than to have his mom on?
Oh, I would love it.
Yeah,
I would love it.
This might be the best forum for her to call in. The fact that I could mediate it and let each person have their time, and it wouldn't get into a yelling match. But she hung up. Matt's mom, call in. I'm a public person. 813-90 Bubba.
Yeah.
But I don't appreciate you guys hijacking me and Brent's show. Hello.
Yeah, I understand that completely. I was actually just calling to throw something out there real quick. Most of the people that mess with you guys are jealous. Like, I'm a married man, 2 kids, and I would love to be in one of y'all's situations, woman-wise or anything like that. So they're just hating because they can't be y'all. And 2, I've never offered this to Brent, but I've said it to Blitz and a couple of other after shows in your show. That phone number y'all are looking at right now when I call, if you ever need something or something taken care of, I say that lightly, just send me an address of where it needs to be taken care of and possibly a car or vehicle picture, and I'll take care of stuff for y'all. Y'all have a good day.
You too, buddy. Thank you. See, Brent, just when you get down on people, you get a good fucking solid guy like that.
Like, I can tell by the southern accent, and Caitlin mentioned this on her show last night, is like Bubba's show has had its haters, believe me. The haters down here that are from the Southeast are more, let's say, good-natured than a lot of these people that are from the Northeast that come from a different radio show that hate that show.
Hello.
Yes, this is
Matt's
who
mom.
I said I was.
Matt's mom. So listen, Matt's mom, did you hang up? Because I didn't hang up on you.
I can't even stand that man's voice.
All right, well,
so yeah, I'm not calling to talk to him. I'm calling to talk to you.
Okay, well, listen, Matt's mom. Brent is a guest or a co-host on my program. Brent is also. So let me just make sure that you understand, and so that we're that I'm in full disclosure. Brent is a very good friend of mine. Brent was one of my groomsmen in my wedding. Brent was a godfather.
Okay,
No, so he means a lot to me, and I'm going to naturally defend him. Now, what I know. Now, hold on, Matt's mom. I'm going to be as graceful and nice as I potentially can be with you. I kind of know a little bit about this scenario, and to me, I don't understand why you guys are so obsessed with a 51-year-old guy who does what Brent does. And have become so critical and obsessed with him, and why you just don't let it go. I don't. Can you somehow make me understand that better? And I'm not.
I would love to. Can I talk without being interrupted? Is that a promise?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. So all of this has escalated to this point when Brent brought my husband and myself and my daughter into it. We got involved. So there's no obsession. If somebody, a public figure, is on the radio making statements about me, my husband, and my daughter that have nothing to do with my son, that's wrong on a million levels. Now, I am not involved. I do not know. But I do find it interesting that Brent encourages people, and I talked to the St. Pete Police Department about this. He encourages trolls to troll the trolls. Why? To boost his algorithm. Why? Because the more comments, the more his videos get shown.
Well, now if I may interject, this is Bubba talking. That if you play the internet game, I don't know if it's trolls engaging trolls, but you do like to you engage comments and try to comment so that you can boost your algorithm and your views. That's just kind of the way it goes. And I'm not sticking up for Brent, but you want to engage, preferably nicely, people to comment on your stream.
Of course. My response to that is I'm a verified creator. I get paid for posting videos. I totally know the game.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, as also
now, can I step in just a little bit and make an observation that you don't get mad? You sound kind of cute.
I'm beautiful. I'm
48.
I am living my best life, and
so why don't you let and I bet you are, and I bet you're cute, and I bet you're living your best life. You sound attractive. Why can't you get through to your son to leave Brent alone?
That's a great question, and I'm going to respond with, it's not Matthew. And just like I'm serious, Bubba. Mm-hmm. You just had a caller claim that they were Matthew, correct? I heard.
No, actually, he said that he wasn't. So
yeah, he did say he wasn't. He was Fred.
But in the beginning, he said he was Matthew. Hold on,
Matt's mom. What we are too, as we don't know anybody because we obviously cannot see you, and we don't, and the caller was marked unavailable. So we are conditioned to assume that it's Matthew. The person's now hold on. After the person says that he wasn't, then we said he was Fred. If it wasn't Matthew, it doesn't matter. This is all spurned copycat haters, and it's all turned into a bunch of nonsense, quite frankly. We have so much more to be thankful for. Look, you know what? You have your son that's healthy. He has his mom that's healthy. Why can't we just let this bullshit go and leave each other alone? Let Brent live his best life, doing whatever makes him happy, and let you and your son and your husband and your family do their best life. It sounds like you're doing well.
So I'm going to respond with, if we have callers claiming that they're Matthew and then saying they're not Matthew, it's not Matthew.
Let's stop. This is ridiculous. Let's talk about what he did. Let's talk about. No, I'm going to talk. Let's talk about what he did do. Let's talk about. Let's talk. You lie. Let's talk about what he did. Let's talk. Bubba doesn't even.
Seeker. You are an attention seeker.
That's part of the job, genius.
Yes, to lie and to create content. Guess what?
Your son's the biggest liar there is. Your son. How about this?
Is that why he
How about this?
was
Your son.
arrested,
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the fact that your son showed up to Secrets and took pictures of the park.
All the lies that you created.
No, he admitted to the police. He admitted to the police that he showed up to Secrets and took pictures in the parking lot. And you admitted on the air that he did that. And
he shows up. Not illegal.
For a 19-year-old, it is illegal for a 19-year-old. It is illegal for a 19-year-old.
Hold on, let me, Matt's mom. It may not be illegal, but it's creepy, and it's
Brent invites people.
No, I didn't. That's a lie. You just lie. I've never invited the. Oh my God, she's such a liar.
Just let her go, Brent.
She's such a liar.
Let her go.
I've never invited the public to come out there.
I have proof.
All right. So.
And I have proof that he came there. He told the cops he came there and took pictures in the parking
illegal.
lot.
All right.
That's actually illegal. He's underage. He can't even be on their property. You got to be 21 to be there. Number two, you know what else, Bubba? You know what else he did? He direct messaged a comedian named Jen Kirkman to try to get her to make up Me Too lies about me.
Let's talk about that. Why?
He direct messaged somebody that I work with. He tried to get her to make, and she, to her credit, says, no, Brent never did anything.
Brent, you're lying.
I've got screenshots of it.
I have it right here.
Well,
you want me to read it?
Matt's mom, this is Bubba.
But why would he reach out to somebody anyway?
Mom, this is Bubba.
See,
she didn't.
You're lying.
Jen Kirkman didn't reach out to him. He reached out to her.
Doesn't matter. You're saying Matthew asked her to lie.
He did
about you.
He did.
That's not what Matthew said.
He did. But why would he? Why would he reach out to try to get? Why would he try to reach out to her at all?
Why are you spinning a lie?
Why is Matt so obsessed with Brent?
Right.
Now hold on. I'm asking the questions now. Matt's mom. This is Bubba speaking. I think I've been respectful. And would you not agree that I've been respectful?
You have.
All right. Now, I can just ask a simple question. What is Matt's obsession with Brent?
Matthew is defending the lies that Brent continues to spew.
Nope.
For ratings and content.
You don't get ratings on the internet, genius.
Okay, well, but Matt's mom, hasn't this been in front of a judge? And didn't the judge tell Matt to stop?
The judge.
She dressed him down.
Hold on,
grow
Brent.
the fuck up. The judge told the 19-year-old and the 50-year-old to freaking grow up.
Okay.
So that's not what she said to me, actually. You weren't there.
Liar.
You weren't there. True or false? Were you there? Were you there?
Go on, Bubba. I refuse to talk.
You weren't there.
Matt's mom, were you at these proceedings?
No, I was not.
Exactly.
Hold on. Okay. So that's
my husband is not a liar.
All right. So you weren't there. Secondly, why is it that are you saying that you're with Matt right now? And when I go on the air, when I went on the air today with Brent at 2:05 Eastern, we immediately started getting hit with these troll accounts, things that your son has said. All, from Brent Hatley's property taxes to his driver's license to all the bullshit that Matt comes up with. Why is it that he continues to do that with these and mess with me and my show when I don't have a dog in this fight and Brent is my guest? He's going to go on the air from time to time with me. People love him. The only person that doesn't seem to like him is Matt. And so why does Matt... He's the one that engaged us. He started all of this today. Or are you, to your credit, are you saying that all of those fake accounts that barraged my chat today weren't Matt?
They are not Matthew. This is my problem, Bubba. Are you ready?
Yes.
We are sitting here enrolling for classes. And Matthew gets a text. And this is what happens all the time. And these people out there that are enjoying all of this with their popcorn are 100% involved. And this is why it continues. I'm going to tell you one thing that is so important. If you ignore it, it will go away.
It's hard.
The more you feed into it,
but it's
the longer it's going to stay.
It's the first that I've been exposed to it. Well, last time Brent was on, I got exposed to it, and it pissed me off, and then it started again today. And it's very distracting for me because I don't appreciate it. I don't have anything to do with this other than Brent's a guest on my show, and it means so very much to me. So whoever these people are, and it's saying it's not Matt, so that's great.
I don't know
so
them.
no, you're right. So it's not Matt, but whoever they are. That have now copycatted Matt or trying to emulate what potentially Matt would say, I don't appreciate it. I think it's stupid. I think it's anonymous. It's internet tough guy bullshit, and I think it's not beneficial for Matt. It's not beneficial for Brent. It's not beneficial for me. It's not beneficial for you as a mother to have to be on the air even dealing with this bullshit right now. And why can't we just all let it go? Or are we too far down the rabbit hole now to do that?
I just want to partner up with you because I really want to be heard. And I want to say it again. I can't imagine being in your shoes. I really can't. I have my strong feelings about the truth, and Brent has his, right? And you're his friend, and I'm Matthew's mom.
Right.
So
you and I are kind of trying to play Switzerland right now,
yes.
and it's tough. Now I am so
That's
adamantly.
Justin Clark.
I adamantly will defend Brent, and you will so adamantly defend Matthew, and that is to be expected. But I know that I know.
Can admit.
But hold on, I know that I could sit Brent down and say, Brent, don't fucking respond to Matthew anymore. And I think that you could tell Matthew, knock it off. And and I give you my word and you give me your word, and that we will speak to our prospective persons of interest and tell them, stop. It's bullshit. And regardless of what's been done, if it stops, it will certainly make life better for all parties involved. Brent doesn't need this bullshit. Brent is actually, Matt's mom, you got Brent all wrong. Brent is one of the nicest, kindest men that I know. But he gets very defensive and very riled up, and you guys know how, and obviously Matt and other people know how to push his buttons. But this is all just so non-productive. And you know what, Matt's mom? I'm guilty of getting caught up in this type of shit before, and I wish somebody of cooler head would have prevailed and tried to speak to me about it. But I made the mistakes, and I engaged, and I said stupid shit, and I wish I wouldn't have. I really wish I wouldn't have.
I agree. I've been in the same shoes. So to answer your question, can I sit Matthew down and can you sit Brett down? Those things were done a very long time ago. But what's happened, and I have watched these shows just because I am proving. Okay, yes, Matthew, hold on. I would like to know why it's automatically assumed that it's Matthew.
And I'm going to answer that question. And I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to answer that question. Because Matthew started, Matthew started engaging Brent, and now, even though there might be some instances that it isn't Matthew, Matthew is the face of hating Hatley. And Matthew,
so here's the problem.
Okay.
The phone numbers that Brent said violated all of the things that Brent has said in the police reports have all been proven to be a lie. So much so that the St. Pete police told me, please, don't worry about this. This is over. Your son has done nothing illegal and nothing wrong. That's what was said to me. Now, Brent, I don't know what's in his mind. I don't know why anyone would continue allowing stupid chat people to get the power. And I am a verified paid creator. I go live, and guess what? I ignore the stupid haters. I mean, it is obnoxious. All they want is attention. And Brent gives it to them every time.
I didn't want to interrupt you. I want to make sure you were done.
I'm so thankful you didn't.
Well,
one more thing. You know, Brent went after Matthew after one incident. And he went after Matthew so hard that Matthew was like, what the heck is happening? Posting on Twitter, hey, buddy, don't ever stalk us again, or meet us at Disney, and posting his picture. There is a pattern of behavior
after he showed up to showing up to Secrets and taking pictures of cars in the parking lot. Yeah, I take that as a threat. That is a personal threat. That's I'm talking and I'm going to finish. I'm going to finish.
Matt's mom.
I'm on the show and I'm allowed to talk.
Matt's mom. You know what? Brent sat there and did not say a word, and now I'm going to allow Brent's rebuttal.
Yes, allow me to retort.
Thank you.
Allow me to retort.
You can, Brent. You can retort, and then hold on. Matt's mom.
I never invited anybody.
Matt's mom. Brent didn't interrupt you, so let's let Brent speak, okay? And then then we can go back to you. I've been very fair about this. You know that. So it's very much Brent's time to retort. So Brent, go ahead.
So he comes to, first of all, it is illegal for somebody under 21 to be on the premises at Secrets. The signs are posted everywhere. It says it's a private club.
No, there's not. No, there isn't. There's no.
Listen to this psychopath.
Brent.
So he takes pictures in the parking lot, probably about 7 pictures in the parking lot.
No,
it was like 7 pictures, and he posts them, and he posts them on Reddit. So first of all, I'm public about it, but a lot of people in that lifestyle are not. There's a lot of cops, there's a lot of teachers, there's a lot of people in the lifestyle that are not public about it. So first of all, he posts pictures in the parking lot, and then he makes a comment about people having STDs there on Reddit, which
show me.
Have your son show you. So that's number one. Number two, he direct messages everybody from Jen Kirkman to Bobo to Tan Mom, trying to get them to say bad things about me. And you can tell it's him because they respond with the name Matt. I'm not just making that up. I've got screenshots. And I've got a DM right here from him that says, and I'll quote the DM from him to tell you what a nice person that you raised here. He says, and for the last time, no one is obsessed with you. It is your downfall that is the entertainment for us. That's what kind of person that you have there. That is a sadist. That is a psychopath. That is, he's saying my downfall, what he perceives as my downfall, is his entertainment. That's the person that you raised. He uses the term cuck. He calls me all kinds of homophobic names. He says misogynist things about my wife. He talks about her weight. He talks about, he says some of the worst, horrible things about her, and she's never done anything to him. And here's another thing you need to understand, and I'm very sorry for this. Matt's mom is sick with cancer, and he has so little empathy for her that he can't stop doing this while she has cancer. That is what we are dealing with. Somebody here. Do you know that he has a fake Twitter account and that has your picture and your daughter's picture? Do you know that he has that?
And you know what, Matt's mom, this is Bubba talking, and you sound like such a great mom, and I'm so sorry that potentially if what Brent said you're going through. Why can't we worry about getting you healthy and concentrate on that and making sure that mom's around for a long more time like that? I mean, as you get older, like you and I are, I'm 56. As you get older, you start appreciating things that we took for granted in life, and having your mom around is the most precious thing that a man can have. And so I just wish that cooler heads would prevail here, including yourself, and we just let this shit go. And Matt's, and Matt realizes that his mom, enjoy her and appreciate your family and stop worrying about stupid ass Brent Hatley.
And he also took the court documents and published them with my phone number so people would harass me by calling me. He published my address and phone number from court documents. So, nobody else could have done it but him.
So Matt's mom, and I heard Matt in the background. Matt, this is Bubba.
I'm outside. No, I'm outside because I'm not. You're right, Bubba. This has gone on so long, and it's so obnoxious.
And can I tell you right now? And I don't know that if I speak. I don't know if I speak for Brent or not, but I think I do. I think Brent would, if this could just go away. I mean, I think the damage that's been done you can't unwind it, but I think we can move forward. And Brent, you know what? Thank you for recognizing that Matt's mom is sick and that's what we should be concentrating on. You were very much a gentleman about that. And that's what it's this whole scenario is. I mean, if you walked in like the slinging dick mom that you are, I'm sure that you're a great mom and that when you're upset that you can lay the law down to Matt and say, Matt, damn it, as a parent, I'm not allowing you going to do this anymore. And Brent will give you his word. He won't participate in this anymore. And we worry about you being around as long as you can potentially be around because you're not, because you're sick. And let's get through that. Let's deal with that.
May I?
Yes, absolutely.
So you're right. I have stage 4 metastatic cancer, and I'm not going to get better. I mean, I am. I'm doing really good right now managing my disease. Matthews, my issue, I just don't want to keep repeating the same conversations. My issue is that when Brent says something happens and there's no proof attached to that, then what happens is he has this platform where he gets to say stuff like, Matthew's such a horrible son. His mom is dying of cancer and all of that. And you just commended him on saying something. But here's my struggle.
I commended him on being. I commended on. I commended on.
Why did he? No, I need this to be said because why did he? One, bring my family into it. Number two, this is important. My daughter has Tourette's. She had a very bad night one night when she was ticking so hard. And by the end of the day, she was crying. And I don't know if you know anything about Tourette's, but combine that with autism, and she had this horrible day. And we posted it on Instagram. That is the instance. My husband dancing in the kitchen to Stephen Curtis Chapman's daughter song, because we're Christians and this song means everything to us.
See, that's part of the problem too, Bubba. Is I'm an atheist and Matthew is a Christian, and that's another part of the problem.
Used to go on Twitter and accuse my husband of being inappropriate with my daughter. Now, let me be clear. There's no other anything out there that he could have said that to, except that moment. Shame on him.
You know what?
Shame on him.
I'm sure Brent.
And it's
I'm sure Brent has done some things that he's probably wish he could unwind, and I'm sure that Matthew as equally can say the same. What I'm trying to say is, I'm in the Brent Hatley business, and you're in the Matthew business, and more importantly, we need to be in the.
No, we're in human business.
Now hold on now.
Humanity.
Hold on, ma'am, Matthew's mom. I didn't interrupt you now, did I? And more importantly, let's just let all this bullshit go. Let's just let it go. Let's actually use this as a good thing and just let it go. Because Brent's going to keep being Brent.
How strong you are, Bubba. Because the reality is, we let this go so many times.
No, you didn't.
But every time,
Matthew didn't. He didn't.
Finish,
that's a lie.
Here's the thing. Every time Matthew is walked away, someone brings him back. Do you know why? Because Brent is calling him a psychopath. Because these people are acting like they're Matthew, which feeds the fire. And then Brent just.
I will tell you this. I will tell you. Hold on. Let me just tell you this. I will tell you this. Brent took the high road with regards to whomever. Let's say it's not Matthew, but whomever started, really fucking with me on my chat. Brent took the high road. He ignores it. It disturbed me, and I'm the one that got us into this conversation today. I'm the one that got us, so I feel somewhat responsible because they were whomever, I guess maybe pretending to be mad or mad himself or not mad himself or Fred or Jim or Joe Shit the Ragman, whoever it may be, is disrupting my show, and this is all so nonsensical. It's really just, at the end of the day, life is so precious regardless of your religion or your beliefs, and you're living that. You're living proof of that. We need to enjoy you. Matt needs to spend every waking moment not worrying about Brent or his wife, needs to worry about his mom, because you know what? His mom's not going to be around forever, and then you really, 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 really start taking an inventory as to what really means what to you.
So let me give you an idea here. So one of Matthew's Twitter accounts right here just tweeted on 7/25/22, so not letting it go. We have I do a show called Miserable Men, and we have a one of our guys on there that's a quote-unquote like a whack packer, for lack of a better term. His name's Bobby Ethier. He has a severe case of autism. So Matt took advantage of Mr. Ethier, who has autism, and got him to say horrible things to me on the air. And I left the show. I just walked off of Miserable Men. I didn't even respond to it. I walked off of it. And so guess who tweets that out 2 days ago? Matthew. I got it right here on the phone. You can see it right there, showing it to the screen. So how is that letting it go again? Tell me that. So, and ma'am, so taking advantage of somebody else and somebody else's family that has autism, you're okay with that, him doing that? You're okay with that?
Listen, I watched it.
And
do you pay that guy?
Do we pay
on your show?
I don't think anybody makes
nobody gets paid on that show.
Right. So here's what I'm going to say. Matthew paid him $20. Wrong. But the guy was thrilled. I don't know him.
Matthew.
So he took advantage of somebody with autism.
So Matthew's mom. Let me just step in. Now, as much as you've been defending your son, and I appreciate that, he's now paying guys $20 to fuck with Brent
on the show. A guy that has severe autism.
Listen.
So then why is he on your show? Are you exploiting him?
But ma'am, listen, Matt's mom, this is Bubba, and I'm going to politely say that we're going to have to go here in a moment because we're running late. But I'm a little older than you are. I've made far more mistakes in life than you have. I really have. I've fucked up a lot. I've done some really stupid shit, stuff that I'll pay for the rest of my life. And one of the things that I've done is partake in the things that Brent and Matt are doing right now. And I've tried to take a step back in that and reevaluate, as my mom is on the latter part of her life, as my son and I don't have the most healthy relationship in the world, and realized, and just as you start to defend Matt, you then come up with, we come up with another instance where Matt is not letting it go. He's not. Paying a guy, an autistic man, $20 to fuck with Brent is not letting it go. So I'm going to say this politely, and I'm not going to, and I'm not going to hang up on you. I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm going to be completely I hope you start to feel better, and I don't know how long you're going to be around, but I hope that we can get some closure on this while you're still healthy enough to appreciate your great son, and we can just let this go.
My closure can happen with one apology. And the apology would be from Brent bringing my family into this.
And you know what? Hold on. And you know what? Brent would probably do that if your son was man enough to apologize to him and his wife as well.
So this is your friend. And
no. Let's not. Hang on.
Let's everybody stop.
Ma'am.
Stop. Listen to me real quick. Ma'am, I'm not going to say your name. I know your name. I'm not going to say your name.
Just call him Matt's mom.
Matt's mom.
Respectfully.
Matt's mom. I, from the bottom of my heart, apologize for bringing you, your husband, and your daughter into anything. I lost my cool because when people, and I'm just going to give you a reason, screwing with me, fine, all day. When people go after my wife, who is somebody that saved my life, Bubba knows what bad shape I was in when I met her.
Agreed.
I was in bad shape, like 265 pounds. I was using
drugs.
I was using
bad drugs,
synthetic heroin. It was, Percocets and things like that. My wife pulled me out of that hole. I owe that woman everything. So when somebody goes after her in the way that Matt went after her, I lost my cool.
But ma'am,
and for that, and I just want to let me finish this real quick. So, ma'am, to you, your husband, and your daughter, I, from the bottom of my heart, apologize, and I take back everything, all of it, and I am sorry for that. And I will never do that again. I lost my cool.
Can you apologize for what specifically you said?
Hold on, Matt's mom. This is Bubba, and I don't want anybody to say another word. He did exactly what you asked him to do.
I love that.
And he manned up. He said everything.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
Bubba, you don't get to call a man a pedophile.
I didn't use that. I didn't use that word,
ma'am.
You know what you meant, Brent.
Matt's mom.
I'm just asking
Matt's
for
mom.
a true
Matt's mom.
apology.
He said he was sorry from the bottom of his
what?
heart for everything. Now you're making me mad. Now you're pissing me off because he fucking stood up as a man and apologized to your entire family for losing his cool and doing everything that he did. He said that.
No,
you fucking said all he had to do was to apologize. He said that. And now you're fucking changing the game. Fuck you. Fuck you. He stepped up as a man and said, I am sorry to your husband, to your daughter, and to yourself. I lost my cool. Then you pile on and want more and more and more and more, and you won't let it go. He fucking did what you asked him to do. And I'm proud of him. I didn't think he would fucking do it. He stood the fuck up and said, ma'am, Matt's mom, I know your real name. I'm not going to say it. With all due respect, I apologize for everything that I said about you, your daughter, and your husband. That means everything that he said. He didn't say only on 2 or 3 things. He said everything. And then he went on to say, I love my wife because my wife saved my life. And when your son started fucking with my wife, I lost my cool. I don't know how more apologetic or humble or straightforward Hatley could have been. I, Brent, didn't lose my cool until I couldn't fucking take it anymore when she's being impossible. Yeah. She's not fair.
Yeah. That's the deal.
Would you not agree, was as fair? I told you to be quiet several times. Yeah. I gave her the floor several times. But enough is a fucking enough.
Yeah. And you see how they move the goalpost all the time.
It could have been over.
Yep.
You know what it could have been? Matt could have got on the phone and said, Brent, I'm sorry for everything I've said and done about you and your wife, and it stops today. I'm sorry. And you know what? You may not believe me, but you're not going to be able to pin any more shit on me because I choose not to participate. Brent, again, I'm sorry. And Hatley, you're the one that said you're the one that said you were sorry first. I don't know what you had said, but predicting on you being the one that took the high road first, I'm thinking you might have said, thank you, Matt.
Yeah. I would have let it go.
You did exactly. I lost my shit there, didn't I?
I love it. That was old school, Bubba.
God! New school Bubba sat there and tried to get through it calmly. Did I not?
You did.
I don't think I could have been any more fair. I told you to calm down a few times. Hatley, stand down. Had to stand you down like I was your fucking sergeant. Hatley, stand down. She had more than an ample amount of time. There were periods of time where nobody was saying anything just so that she was made sure she got her entire point across without being interrupted. When Brent did what she said, the only thing I need is for him to apologize for everything he's done to my family, my daughter, my son. And Brent verbatim, and not in a cynical, snarky, bullshit way, you nailed it, kid. And I was like, fuck yeah, look at my boy.
Yeah.
And I was ready to mediate, to put Matt. I thought, Brent, she was going to say, Brent, thank you.
Yeah. But
thank you. So that includes whatever you called her husband. That includes whatever song was played. That includes however she interpreted what the fuck you said about her daughter. That includes it all. You said everything. You didn't say everything but this, that, and this. You stepped up and delivered what she asked for.
Oh, yeah.
She's only reiterated what you said is they're impossible.
Yeah. That's it. And this is what goes on is the goalposts get moved. And she's like, he let it go a long time ago. And then when you bring up just the other day that he took advantage of a man with autism, then she moves the goalpost again.
And so I know you're listening, ma'am, and me and Brent are going to say goodbye now because it's Lummy's. I told Lummy to remind me to bring me a candy bar and to remind me at 3:55 that it's almost their show. But let me just tell you this. The only thing that you and your family should worry about is how many more days they can be with you, because you sound like a very beautiful woman. You sound like a woman that is very much has mama bear.
There's Lummy.
Hold on. He's been instructed to do this exact same format. Okay, hold on. Yes, okay.
Bubba?
Yes. Yes.
It's 3:55, 5 minutes before 4.
Okay, buddy.
At the top of the hour, you got to get out of here.
Okay, buddy.
I'm a little nervous right now.
All right, buddy. Thank you. This was the format, Brent, that he was instructed to do. And so, Brent, the only thing I can say is you know what, buddy? Thank you for manning the fuck up. And we now have documentation of you doing exactly what she wanted, but it still wasn't good enough, was it?
It was not.
And it never will be.
It never will be.
She's got mama bear syndrome where she's completely oblivious and blind to what her little snotty-nosed 19-year-old kid is doing.
Yep.
And if she would just say, you know what, Brent, thank you. Thank you. And you know what, Matt? Well, you know what? I didn't even need Matt to get on the phone and say. I just needed his mom's word that, you know what, as his mother, we accept your apology, and it ends today. Thank you. And me and Brent would be driving across to Howard Franklin right now burning a heater.
Exactly.
Hatley, this has been great. I mean, I loved it. I mean, first of all, I hope you're not mad
not at all
at me for allowing her.
No.
Because I wanted to, because, you know, you're on one. I wanted to be right down the middle and mediate this thing. And Brent, goddamn it, we almost pulled it off.
Yeah.
If we were dealing with reasonable people,
exactly,
we could have pulled it off.
Exactly. So what we have here, and this is an old school Bubba term. What we have here is a lack of parenting. Back, remember on 98 Rock when we would get into it with people's moms and you go, what we have here is obviously a lack of parenting.
It's a pussification of America and a lack of parenting. Anyway, when's the last time you gave your kid a nice big swift kick in the ass?
And you have someone here that is, you know, her son is a sociopath. And I'm going to just say this is my opinion from my experience being around the legal system and people like this. And I'll leave you with this. That time that I took him into court to go in for a restraining order, that's not going to be the last time he's in front of a judge. I promise you that.
Matthew's
mom, but they already know that.
But here's all I care about. I hope that you get better. I know it's stage 4, which is usually not good. You sound like a very, very, very beautiful person inside and out. Please take a step back on this and fix it while you can. Hey, we appreciate everybody. We had like 500 and some people on the YouTube deal. And Hatley, I just, you know, I think you used to, if I can use an old Hatley term as you use a Bubba term, man, you can get that guy to spit in his mama's face before he says something. Like remember there was one that used to say, you get that guy to punch his mom in the mouth before he said something bad about, you know, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Hatley, I love this shit out of you.
That was amazing.
And it was. I hope Caitlin heard it.
Yeah, she's texting me right now.
Okay, cool.
So
with those jugs.
With those jugs. Yeah.
Maybe Matt just needs a promo OnlyFans account for Caitlin. That could really pull the nose up on things. Seeing that nice ass jiggle.
And
that makes things go away.
And if you saw this kid, you'd be like, why doesn't he have like 10 girlfriends? Like,
good-looking kid.
Like 6'1", 6'2", like blonde hair, like not fat, like and thin,
right?
Tall, like if I would have had his looks when I was in high school.
Grouper Lips, 1999.
Oh my God!
So Matt, you got. Even Brent Hatley, who does not like you, says that you got the it factor.
Yeah,
concentrate on something else besides hating Brent. Go out and get some chicks.
And be
a stud.
You live in Central Florida. It's crawling with hot chicks.
And I think his parents are affluent, are they not?
They are.
You got affluent parents. Your mom sounds like she's pretty cool. Man, Matt, apply yourself somewhere else, buddy.
Yeah, it's weird. Psychologically, it's just very, very weird.
All right. Well, listen, Brent, we're gonna head on back.
Okay.
And I hope I didn't offend you or anything.
Not at all. That was amazing radio. This is what it reminded me of our days back when we were on 98 Rock.
I lost my shit. I did.
Remember when we were on 98 Rock and we didn't screen calls and
Oh yeah, we just
like
put it dry.
you would do a news story and then like sometimes I remember one where a guy's mom called you up and you had that type of a conversation. Like the guy was in the news for something and like you talked about the news story and his mom called up to defend him.
I remember one. It was a guy that beat a grandma up with a baseball
That's
bat
right.
over in Daytona Beach, and,
That's
and the grandma or the mom called up, and I'm like, how in the hell do you defend him beating a woman to death with a baseball bat?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And you were like, obviously, we have a real lack of parenting here.
Hey, Babyface and Lummy are up next. It's exactly
Awesome.
4:00. Me and Hatley are out of here. Hatley, you and I talk daily.
Yeah.
And we got a nice car ride home.
Yeah.
Everybody have a great day. Appreciate everybody. Love you.